This is Roger from ControlUp, and today we're going to go over console basics. So first, we're going to go over how to add a hypervisor and a computer. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is click the Add Hypervisor button, choose the type of hypervisor, and then put in the URL/SDK of the vCenter environment since we're using with VMware. Give it a name that we want to appear in the console, and then add the credentials that we want to use to connect to the particular hypervisor. Once I put my password in, click OK. I'm going to select my default data collector. In this environment, I'm going to leave it as the default, but in the production environment, you're going to want to change that to a dedicated machine. Click OK, and now as you see, my vCenter has been added to my environment. Now I'm going to right click on my organization root folder, go down to Add, and click Computers, and this is going to bring up my Active Directory environment where I'm just going to simply type in the name of the machine I want to add, find an Active Directory, click Add, click OK, and now this machine has been added into my environment. Organizing computers with folders. So the first thing I'm going to do is right click on my organization root, go down to Add Folder, and create a folder for my environment. Now that I've created that folder, once that folder comes up, I'm going to drag and drop my machine into that folder. And for sake of speeding up the video, I'm going to add more folders and 2 more machines very quickly. And then once I get those machines, I'll drop them in their respective folders that I created. And voila, I actually have a folder structure created. Adding Zen-Desktop sites. Click the Add Zen-Desktop button, and when the pop-up window comes up, notice at the top there's a link to download the PowerShell SDKs needed for the console and monitor to work properly. If you scroll down to the middle of the screen, you'll see the actual 8 SDK snap-ins that are required. This is a list of the 8 of those items. You can then scroll down and just simply install Citrix Studio on this machine, or you can click here to download those SDKs individually. I've already done that, so I'm going to go back to my console and put in the broker name of my DDC. Once I do that, verify the port. I'm going to use the credentials I already have stored. And before I click OK, I'm going to just click the drop down box so you'll see that I'm using my default data collector. Again, in production, you do not want to use the default data collector. You want to create your own. I'm going to click OK. Once I click OK, notice that now my Zen-Desktop sites have been added to my environment. Adding a Citrix NetScaler. So first I'm going to go and click the Add NetScaler button. And once I click that, I'm going to put in the management IP address of my NetScaler. And notice that it's automatically filling out the URL. Once I put in the management IP address, I'm going to give it a name that I want to appear in the ControlUp real-time console. And then I'm going to add credentials. In this instance, I'm going to add local credentials. So let me go ahead and type out my user ID and password. Click OK. Notice that my data collector is still the default. Remember, in production, change this from the default data collector to a dedicated data collector. Click OK. And now I have my NetScaler added to my environment. Adding a monitor. Click the Add Monitor button at the top. Once you click this button, the wizard will appear, and we're just going to go through the wizard. I'm going to select the machine that I want to install the monitor service on. Click Next. Pass all the prereqs. Click Next again, and now the files are being copied, and the service is being installed on that server. I'm going to choose Yes to import the credentials from my credential store, and click the Edit button and select the appropriate account. In this instance, it's the Acme account that I created before. Click OK. Now I'm going to add the credentials used to connect to my hypervisor, my Zen-Desktop sites, or my NetScaler. So I'm going to click Add Credentials and go through and select the appropriate account, put in my password. I want to make sure this is a shared account so other users can use it, and also make sure that this is a unique account from a friendly name standpoint. I'm going to just put monitor at the end so I know what this account is. And I'm going to validate this account. Click OK. And for my NetScale appliance, I'm going to go ahead and put in the local account that I created earlier. Go ahead and type that in for my password and do the same thing here. Shared account, Mac dash monitor at the end to make this unique as well, because my friendly names have to be unique. Since this is a local account, there's no validate button. I'm going to click OK, apply the changes, and continue my wizard. I'm going to take the defaults unless there's a reason to change my proxy settings. I'm going to take the default for the export schedule, and here I'm going to add my SMTP server. I don't have an SMTP server to add, but if I did, this is where I'll put in all the information. I'm going to click next to continue, click next again. The ControlUp monitor configuration wizard is now done. Click finish, click OK. And once I click OK, you'll see that the monitor is running in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Recap. So to recap what we've done today, we've gone and added a hypervisor. We've added computers and folders. I've added a monitor, Zen desktop sites, and the NetScaler. This is Roger from ControlUp. Have a great day.